Thanks all for coming out today. And today's really about enthusing the chefs in the room, restaurateurs in the room, about the fantastic produce we've got in East Lothian. And you've got the experts to my left who will be showing you what can be done with it. This is an interesting place for me to come. My own food and drink career began in this building as a 16-year-old waiter, working in what's the terrace and the grill room through there, which I see they seem to have now demolished, which seems to be standard practice when I leave a place. They have to demolish it and start again. But I probably learned more in my 1 year working between school and studying in this place as a waiter about food and drink than I probably did in the years before at school and the years afterwards at university. I'm from Scotland Food and Drink. We were created 5 years ago to try and grow the whole food and drink sector in Scotland. It's a phenomenal sector at the moment. I can't think of another more exciting industry just now to be part of. And the reason that today's event is exciting for me and for Scotland Food and Drink is because we brought together every sector of the industry, from red meat and salmon to whisky and shortbread and bakery and dairy, try and grow the whole sector. Get smaller companies to grow, get medium-sized, large companies to grow the markets at home, grow the markets abroad. And this is what the strategy looks like on the ground, bringing producers and buyers together. And food tourism is a growing area in Scotland, and probably something we've never quite got right over the past few years, but we're trying to put that right just now. And the work of East Lothian Council in particular in developing this has been absolutely fantastic and to be hugely encouraged. About 4.5 million people will visit Edinburgh this year. And they come and they'll see the castle, and they might go to the botanics, they'll go see 2 pandas along the road, but we want them to have a phenomenal eating experience when they come, and drinking experience when they come to Scotland as well. There's an incredible array of produce and producers, an amazing amount of talent in this room today, and I would encourage all of you to go and absorb that and speak to the producers, see how they might be able to help your own businesses grow. There's a lot of focus on how Scotland's food industry is growing abroad. You look at China, you look at the Middle East, you look at America, huge amount of exports building, but perhaps the most exciting opportunity lies at home, in developing a culture, and we want Scotland to be known as a land of food and drink. And today's event is just part of that jigsaw, part of that roadmap as we move towards that. You have Keith Marley, Tom Lewis doing their bit later on today, and the opportunities to speak to all the producers and ask questions as we go on. But I thank you all for coming today. As I say, an amazing array of produce to get your head around, a lot of producers to speak to as well. Scotland Food and Drink here as well, our staff are over there if there's any questions that any producers want. And the one thing I would ask you to think about today is that there's been a lot of work developed over the last few years to encourage businesses to source local and supply local food and drink. And yes, it's good for green credentials, it cuts down on food miles, it supports local businesses, it puts more money into the community. But it's good for your businesses too. Of all the businesses we've worked with, and restaurants and hotels, local businesses that have been increasingly using local food, they're seeing their turnover increase, they're seeing their sales increase, and they're seeing their visitors numbers increase. On average, a business's turnover can increase by about 8% by supplying local. And we've done a lot of work about the habits of the Scottish shopper out there, and increasingly they're looking for local food. They want food with a story behind it, and there's a whole heap of stories in this room today. So I'd encourage you to think about how you can support local producers for green reasons, for economic reasons, but for your own business reasons as well. And enjoy your day. Thank you very much.